Okay, we're coming to the end of our journey studying crypto media and NFTs. This has been a wild ride. I've put in a ton of hours of research into this, and I'm trying to surface all of the important product categories and concepts that a product designer would want to understand if they're entering this Web3 space and specifically the NFT space in general. But I think Web3 and NFTs, it's going to become synonymous, not in terminology, but you just can't have Web3 without NFTs. This is how important this technology is, because I believe NFTs are eventually going to represent all of the items in a digital world or a metaverse, or however you want to think of that. It's going to be our digital passport, identity. It could represent data sets. Right now it's representing crypto media like fine art, generative art, profile picture NFTs, right? And then also in-game items, like you have a sword in a video game, you can transfer that into different video games because you hold that NFT, which represents the sword, in your Web3 wallet. And so you can take that into different ecosystems, and same with metaversal worlds as well. We're going to have AR and VR, and we're going to be accessing these metaversal worlds, but we're going to be able to take our digital items with us. We own it with our wallet. That is something that is so important to understand about NFTs, that they make digital objects scarce and ownable, because before we can't really own our digital objects. It's usually controlled by centralized companies like social media, like they control our data and our posts and our images and all that. And then also games, they control our characters and the stats and the items that we own in those games. But now NFTs are making it to where we can represent those objects as NFTs and then store them in our Web3 wallet and take our Web3 wallet with us, because we are custodying not only our cryptocurrency, but now just any sort of digital item you can think of. That is the generalizability of an NFT. But anyway, I digress. What we're talking about in this video is the future of NFTs and specifically some trends that I see happening in crypto media right now. We're moving into these trends of the fractionalization and the financialization of NFTs. Let's get into it. Let's start with the most obvious one, which is the fractionalization of NFTs in crypto media. If you look back at my other videos, I've shown you many highly expensive pieces of crypto media. The Beeple collage sold for $69 million. There are many other NFTs out there that are selling for millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, just to buy like the floor level of the Bored Ape Yacht Club, like just to get the most basic, boring NFT avatar. It's still going to cost you several $100,000. And the average person is not going to be able to afford several $100,000 for an NFT. They're just not going to be able to clear that hurdle in terms of free cash that they have. So what you can do is you can actually this NFT is by design, it's a singular, unique item, but you can fractionalize it into fungible tokens so that people can own fractions or portions of that NFT. So this is done by sending an NFT into a vault. You lock that NFT in a vault, and then you can mint fungible tokens that represent fractional shares of the underlying NFT. So that NFT is going nowhere, and you give people, like, see here, Stacy Lee Weber owns 1% of this NFT. That means she has, or he has, 1% of the fungible token supply that you minted. Sunny is less, owns 2% and 0.4%. So I think you understand where I'm going with that. And fractionalization services include fractional art, and uniquely is another one where you send it into a vault and then mint fungible tokens. And this is actually the mechanism for fractionalizing an NFT. Another type of fractionalization service is NFTX. This allows you to put multiple NFTs into a vault and mint fungible tokens that people are kind of index investing in a like this is a CryptoPunk vault that has 140 floor CryptoPunks. So these are the most basic CryptoPunks. In this case, they're assumed to be of kind of equivalent value to each other. This is a false assumption. This is kind of an oversimplification, but the people who have placed it in the vault are assuming that they're roughly all equivalent value to one another. And you can actually purchase this punk token to get exposure to these CryptoPunks. Now, it's good from an ownership perspective, but it's also good from an investment perspective. If I don't want to spend hundreds of $1,000s to get one of these crypto Flurpunks, then I can actually just spend however much I want in punk token. And this gives me exposure to the price movement of the CryptoPunk project overall. If CryptoPunks increase in popularity and value, which they likely will because they were the first PFP project, which is now internet history, then I will be able to have exposure to these punks just by holding that fungible token and not an entire CryptoPunk NFT, if that makes sense. So these are fractionalization services, these three that I mentioned up here. And now I want to tell you about a cool end user application that uses fractionalization. So this is by far one of the coolest UX experiences I've thought of, or that I've seen, that I've thought of. I wish I could take credit for it. It's called Party Bid, and it allows people to, create a party. It allows people to get a group of people, co-investors together to bid on and try to win NFTs that are currently being auctioned. So like any OpenSea NFT that I find, I can put the URL in here and I can try to get a band of people who contribute ETH into this pool. And then with our pooled ETH, we're trying to win that NFT. And so it's really cool. And so the mechanism behind it is that if you win the NFT, then that NFT basically goes into a vault, and then that NFT is fractionalized. And so all the different people who crowdfunded for that NFT are going to get distributed that fungible token, which represents their share of the underlying NFT. So this is an example of an end user app that uses fractionalization. And just a quick note here, Party Bid actually uses the fractional smart contracts on its back end in order to fractionalize it. Now, we're going to start to get into something called a decentralized autonomous organization, because if multiple internet strangers own one NFT, how do we decide collectively in a decentralized way what to do with that NFT? Because there's also the use case of we collectively bid and get this NFT, but then in the future we want to resell it, hopefully for a capital gain. So what you can do is with these fungible tokens, once you distribute these fungible tokens, really what you've done is you've created a decentralized autonomous organization. A DAO is really just and I'm stealing this from a thought leader named Koopa Troopa. That's his Twitter handle. Maybe I'll put it in the link below. He talks about a DAO is just simply an IM chat group, like an internet chat forum, like Discord, with a shared bank account. So these fungible tokens now represent DAO ownership. If you own even one or a fraction of this fungible token, you are a member of the DAO, and you can vote on what to do with that NFT. Now, obviously, DAOs are a much broader concept, so I'll stop there in talking about it. But specifically for this use case, you can have people vote on initiate when to start auctioning the NFT that was collectively bought through Party Bid. And so this is a DAO functionality where you use your tokens to vote to initiate that auction, and then to also set the reserve price on that auction. What is the lowest amount of Ether that you're willing to accept to sell that NFT to someone else. And just in true crypto fashion, we can also add other interesting tokenomic type things into this. So if you're holding that fungible token, you can now use it to get access to exclusive Discord channels or other IM services that are exclusive to only those token holders. So you connect your Web3 wallet to Discord, and it checks that you own at least one or more of these fungible tokens. And now you're in and you can start chatting with people. And now you have immediate conversation between the other shareholders in the NFT that you collectively own. So last thing to say, this is the second concept I talked about in the beginning, the financialization of NFTs. And probably the best example of this is to use an NFT as collateral within the DeFi ecosystem. So the previous video series I talked about DeFi. A lot of it has to do with depositing collateral and taking out loans, or depositing collateral and yield farming in that way. Now, if your NFT has value, like let's say you own a BAYC or you own fungible tokens that represent a portion of a BAYC, then you can post that into you can stake that into a DeFi protocol and take out loans against it. So this is an example of using your NFT to take out crypto loans, and because that NFT actually has real world value. And the two products here to mention are PawnFi and NFTFi. So these are two trends to look out for in the future, the fractionalization and the financialization of NFTs. Thank you all.